Hello, Serious Crew. This is Not So Busy, your podcast producer and Serious Gentleman podcaster. Team Serious would like to announce Serious Property Solutions, a proud sponsor of Team Serious. Serious Property Solutions, or SPS, will buy any house, any condition, any situation. So if you're looking into getting out of your mortgage or simply selling your house quick and you are near or around the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, give them a call at area code 469-609-7368, or you can reach out to them via their Facebook page at facebook.com/Serious Property Solutions and send them a message via FB Messenger or email them at oscar@seriouspropertysolutions.com. We would like to thank SPS for their support and supporting this podcast. Thank you so much. Go check them out. Good morning, Serious Gentlemen. We're back at it again with episode 20 of the Serious Gentlemen. For those of you who are just joining us, these are the Serious Gentlemen, and everybody from this panel is from Team Serious. Oh, shoot, the boss is here, CEO. Yeah, hi. Oh, my bad. As tradition, we like to show what is everyone drinking. Y'all better not be some dehydrating fools. That's all I got to say.
I'm just drinking water from this cup that I've had since 1982. So.
Man, I can't deal with you drinking water. Like you gotta get up in the morning and have some oomph behind your day. This water stuff. I got Dave who drinks nothing, and you who drink water only. Great. I'm drinking two things. I got a brand new mug, and it says "History teachers always bring up the past," which I.
That's awesome.
I'm drinking.
Sounds like a Cowboys fan too.
Shut up. Oh,
shots fired so early in the morning.
We 8 minutes in, and this dude's
hey.
This is already.
But Tombstone, you didn't do what you did to Dave. You want to fight?
You want to fight? Fuck you, Dave. Fuck you. Sorry.
What you got, Twisted? What you sipping on?
This morning is just some Monster. That's it. Keeping it simple. Cracking open a Monster nice and early in the morning.
Damn.
Right. And he got all that moving to do too. So, he ain't looking forward to that just yet. So let's get some announcements out of the way. First and foremost, always thank our UV peoples, our UV friends, our UV brothers and sisters out there. They had an awesome first podcast. If you hadn't checked it out, go check them out. What's the Twitch channel name? Is it twitch.com/United Vindication?
United Vindication.
No, go check them out.
No exclamation points.
They're always with us. We're always doing something together. If you haven't stopped by, go check out the VOD. It was a great podcast, in my opinion. Bunch of great folks over there as always. We're always supporting each other. They're always over here with us, and we're always over there with them. Major shout out, major love to Tombstone, Twizted, and crew. Y'all put it on. And y'all got a great community going out there. Second, foremost, we're going to get the tournaments rolling again. We're going to start talking about getting salt in our lives because we're really salt deprived. We're really low on our sodium. We're talking about bringing back Rainbow Six 5v5. We're talking about getting back into the CS GO 5v5. I'm talking about we trying to get sweaty up in here. I know UV does a lot of Warzone, but we got all the sweat on this side.
Salt.
We also talking about getting back into Overwatch. We're talking about getting really salty on Rocket League 3v3s. So if you're any of those players, come check us out at teamseriesdfw.com. That's all we do. That's all we're known for. We're going to put it on. We're going to get these sponsorships going again. We're going to get these active ass tournaments going. Also, if you always, if anybody knows me, I love Chillback Gaming. Chillback Gaming on its finest. We also got a Minecraft server. So if you want to come hang out with me, do some Minecraft, do some Killing Floor 2, Left 4 Dead, and hit me up because zombies are my thing. And that's all we do. We're also going to be rotating some events on Phasmophobia because that's the game that's hot right now, even though it's in early access. Do recommend getting the beta. Stay off the regular branch because the beta has all the fixes and it's live and it's way better than just doing the regular version. On top of that, I'm going to hand it over to Shuki if he wants to add anything else that I've missed moving forward with these tournaments and things like that.
Yeah, thanks, Naso. I think you hit up on just about everything that I was going to say. We might have a friendly 5v5 CSGO match tonight. We're looking at maybe putting a cast on there, so it might be myself, Natso, maybe Samaze. But look forward to that today. That way we can have a little bit we'll have a little tournament going on. But other than that, I think you hit everything else, Natso. We're going to ramp up on the tournaments again, so you'll start seeing that come up soon. Other than that, that's all I got.
With that being said, we'll go ahead and make the official announcement. I know United Vindication did it yesterday, but we are partnered up with United Vindication, Club Kiwi, and Rage Zone to do a mental health awareness stream, seminar, you name it, podcast, everything. That'll be happening in the month of December. We already started promotional material. We've been promoting it through all kinds of channels. Check our all socials out. Check out teamseriesdfw.com/break the stigma. You will find not only all of Team Series information, all of United Vindication's information. If you click on that first link, it'll take you to the YouTube playlist of all the awesome videos that we created in partnership with all these communities. But we're definitely going to be heading out a bigger message that's above us. We're definitely going to be pushing a bigger message that's above all of us, but it impacts all of us. And I think all of us that used to be part of, yes, I'm rocking the old shirt. The GST community knows what it takes to put on an event like this, and we're going to do it bigger this time around. And then we're going to come back and do some pros and cons after the event, see what we did right, see what we can do better, see what we did wrong, because we're not going to get it right. And not at least not this first time with how big of a message and how big of a community we're widespreading this message. But stay tuned, stay with us. I know mental health, even if it's a family member or if it's you directly, it impacts all of us, anyway, from anxiety all the way to autism and anything in between. So stay tuned. I'm going to go ahead and hand off, just in case I miss anything, to Tombstone, and then we'll get the first topic out of the way.
Yeah, so just to echo what you said, man, Team Serious is doing phenomenal things as always. There's no drop off in performance for you guys. The back channel that we have here, oh God, Dave, will you stop it? Every time I look over there, he's typing in OnlyFans or some shit that drives me nuts, and I can't concentrate. Yeah, so Team Serious rocking out on the tournaments. I'm actually personally excited for the next Rocket League tournament because I don't have just one team that's ready to play. I've got two of them. So I can't wait to bring Rocket League over and bring it back. Ever since it became free, it's such a hit. I mean, obviously, but ever since they brought it back, it's been something that I know me and my little circle, we've been kind of working on training and stuff like that. Twizted played it for the first time a couple weeks back. OG who's in chat, he plays with us, even though he really sucks at the game. He's pretty terrible. I wouldn't even give him credibility, actually. So with the mental health stream, since last week, we added a new community. And this community is headed up by, it's called Club Kiwi. It's headed up by Kiwi Canuck Goldie in chat. She's phenomenal. One of the things that drew me to Team Serious, one of the things that drew me to a partnership with Team Serious and to be a part of Team Serious was my relationship with Natso and my relationship with Shook. But they started doing something that I thought was revolutionary. They started giving us the Team Serious Ladies. And the Team Serious Ladies has always been a platform for not only people like my wife who wants to go out there and get her voice heard, but for all lady gamers to be safe and to have a place to play games in a safe environment. And so what happened is as United Vindication started to come along, I tried to talk with Natsu and I said, what's the point of the Team Serious Ladies? And he said, to give ladies a safe place to play. And I said, okay, does that mean a safe place to play in Team Serious, or are we looking out for all the ladies? And he's like, dude, we're looking out for all the ladies, all the women. We trying to give them, man, shut up. We're trying to give all the ladies a place to have a safe haven and to play games together and to be away from all of us annoying guys. So United Vindication adopted the same thing, and now we have the lovelies of UV. But Kiwi, she is running a massive all-ladies women's Warzone tournament. And you just don't see it. I mean, it just doesn't happen. There's not enough ladies tournaments like this. And she's filled it up, and it's a 2-day tournament. It's massive. And for those of you who didn't watch it yesterday, I wouldn't join that tournament because I'd get my ass kicked. Okay? I could put the best team of 3 together, guys-wise, and I'd get my ass kicked. Some of those ladies out there they sweaty, man. Like they jump in Superstore and they're killing everything in sight. So Kiwi is not only an amazing person, an amazing ex-veteran of the military as well, but she's out there looking out for the ladies. And she is, she's as supportive as they come and just as nice as they come. She is, what a phenomenal woman. So she jumped on board. She came aboard. She's been full throttle since day one, and I really wanted to give that shout out. Man, I swear to you, I saw you guys start playing yesterday, and I hated it because I was like, I'm already whatever. I was 50% done with my homework, and then I had other things. I hate you. Whatever. I'm sporadic this morning. My bad. So I got 3 of my favorite people in the world here. I actually want to start by asking you guys a question I saw on Twitter. And I don't want to talk about streaming, and I don't really want to talk about us. When something goes wrong or you're starting a new project, who is your mentor? Like who do you go to for like that next step? Like there's times where I get motivated and then I'm like, what's next? And the next thing is always like, I reach out to my dad, or I reach out to one of you 3 amazing gents, or, I'll talk with Sage about a lot of things, but when I don't want to necessarily open myself up to Sage, or if I don't want to like go talk to Tanya or some of my better, my friends that are close to me IRL, who's that person you can count on that'll shoot you straight and say, yeah, this is a cool idea, but who's that person for you guys?
For me, out of all the people, I got to say it's my aunt. My aunt's the one person I could just go to like, hey, this is what's happening in my head. And she's a writer, so she's known to just nitpick those things and be like, all right, try this instead. Otherwise, if it's like a last minute thing, I got to go to my dad. My dad would be like, you're dumb, just do it this way.
I guess going this rotation, I was waiting to see who else wanted to unmute. For me, the first person I go to is my wife. And then I jump over to my dad, and then I'll jump over to Shook in that order to see what I missed. And it's to see multiple angles and multiple perspectives, because everybody's thought process is different, right? What I consider like high priority, they'd be like, no, you forgetting this piece and things of that sort. So I don't like to just go to one person. I like to go to multiple people. And if the consensus is the same, then, and I'm looking at it kind of what I thought, which usually kind of falls in line with what my point was, then I'll continue on with it. But I like to get, especially my wife, she'd be like, you haven't thought about this, you haven't thought about that, you haven't thought about that. And I'm like, damn, you're right. So then I have to refocus what that either trying to solve that issue or for what have you, business wise for Team Serious, trying to figure out what we've missed and what we haven't looked at.
So for me, it depends on what kind of industry. Like if I'm in business, then I have a business mentor already who I go to. And that's the person who helps me figure out what I need to do and guides me through it. It makes it so much easier because I don't have to figure out some of the stuff that they have already done and failed. So they just kind of guide me and tell me what I need to do. But if it's something new that I haven't done, like for example, like esports, like what we're doing now, then I go ahead and go seek out those who are already successful in the industry So then I go and pick their brains and see, you know, hey, how can I do this? How can I do that? So for me, it just depends on what industry we're talking about. If it's a business venture, then I hit up my mentor, whom I'm already, you know, mentorship under. And then I go to, you know, just depends on the industry. Then I go seek that expert out or experts to pick their brain and get some knowledge.
See, that I think that's interesting. I think I do the same thing, except I still like to have it to be somebody that knows me. You know, I have the option to go to guys that are way smarter than me. Whether, you know, in teaching, especially, there's so much mentorship you need to be a teacher. Like, it's crazy how many people I can talk to and how many millions of years of experience I can find to talk to about teaching. But when it comes to something like life-oriented, where I just need to try to learn to be a better person, clearly I go to all three of you on this cast. But beyond this, like, I'll do the same thing Not So said. I'll go to my wife and say, hey, you know, what do you think about this? And normally I get this, oh, you're just being stupid. Okay, well, that didn't help. She's going to cut me. But, you know, beyond that, I still try to, I think my dad is still that guy that, you know, I'd say something to him. And, you know, during the outbreak of COVID, I was telling him, I'm like, man, I'm just my body doesn't physically feel right. It hurts all the time and this, that, and the other. And I didn't want to hear it. I really didn't. But he said, how active have you been? And I said, well, yes, I play a lot of games. and he really kind of opened my eyes to, oh shit, I'm doing things wrong right now. And maybe I need to fix myself. And everybody else they wouldn't have said that. They'd have said, hey, are you drinking enough water? Have you taken your meds? Have you done this? Have you done that? And it's my dad who has many times, and this goes back to my military days. Dad's always the guy who says, hey, fuckhead, stop being stupid. Like, you're overlooking the simple stuff. You know, get out of bed, go for a run, go for a walk, do something else. And dad, like, my dad seems to be an expert in everything, man. I don't know what it is, but that dude just, it's like all he does is sit down and watch YouTube videos and he's become an expert on things. It's weird. Brosine says, knowing an expert or someone very knowledgeable in the field is really valuable. To be able to comfortably ask questions goes a long way. Yeah, I mean, well, that's the best part about working with this group of people, working with Brosine, working with Shook, working with, you know, Twizted and Not So, is I have such a relationship with these guys. I can say, hey, what do you think about this? And they're like, hey, man, I don't know, but let's go find somebody. And then we all comfortably work together to go find that expert and go find that knowledge. So what about for when you're kind of stuck, and Shook, this might be more applicable to you than the rest of us. When you've completed all your tasks, your to-do list is pretty much done, but you know there's something more. Where do you find inspiration? Like, inspiration from people, or how do you find the next step when things may seem stuck?
That's a good one. Finding motivation on a daily basis for, say, an entrepreneur or someone who's maybe managing their own business can be tough, because there's days where you're going to have very bad days and you feel like quitting and just going back to what you know. And there's days where you're just like, damn, like, you know, I just met this incredible person or people, you know, that have the same kind of drive, same kind of everything, you know, and you just want to go with it. And it gives you more inspiration in that drive. So for me, it's people like you guys who are sitting on this board right now, speaking with me in the whole team series. That's how I found my inspiration. I was like, okay, I want these guys to succeed in what we're doing. So I go out and try to do self-growth and learn more about what I'm going to get myself into, so I can make sure that these guys are taken care of. So for me, it's more like the people that I'm working with. It's what drives me. That's how I find my inspiration. I get up every morning. I say, how can I make Team Series better so that these guys can eventually, if we make it into a big business, you know, maybe they can quit their jobs and come work with Team Series. And that's something that they're doing, you know, like that to me is what drives me. That's my vision. It's what I see. I'm very driven by the vision that me and Not So and Ramazy are seeing. So it's not just for me, it's for others. And that's what drives me.
Really quick, one term I want to throw out there is servant leadership. And I think all four of us are, not to give us too many pats on the back today, but I believe all four of us are very, very good at servant leadership. That we lead, and we don't mind taking on a leadership role, but the entire time we're leading, it's putting everybody else before us to lead. And I don't think that's ever a bad thing. So go ahead, Nuts.
It's understanding. To me, it's always understanding, going back to the vision, our end goal. Understanding if we're all on the same page, it makes it easier. And if we're not, then we need to find a common set, to find inspiration and to find that drive. It's actually the hardest thing to do. Is a lot of people says, I want to do all this, and then figure out that the tasks are so big. They're like, I lost energy. So what I tell people to do, coming from an IT background, I was like, let's break that into smaller chunks, right? You see this big, wide story this big, but what can you do that's like a piece, like a puzzle piece? What can we do first to get that started? And that's kind of what we've done in Team Serious, is like, this is our overall goal, but let's break that down even further. Let's break it down in what can I deliver today? What can I deliver tomorrow to add to the overall picture? But having a vision is the first thing that we need to have to get our drive and our motivation, in my opinion. I don't know if anybody else sees it differently. That's the way I see it. That's what I've always done anything, having these small goals you can set milestones for, and then kind of celebrate those milestones, right? Like one of the celebrations we did is we got the website up and running quick, and then we celebrated that. He's like, hey, Shook is like, man, also thanks for putting it up. It literally took you like a day, this, that, and the other. I was like, let's just break it. That's the mentality we had. Let's break it into small chunks and then celebrate that, so that we can visibly see what we have accomplished, and that still drives that morale and that motivation. Does that make sense?
There's like milestones too, and just to kind of put it in perspective, like, I'm taking this very serious. So no pun intended, right? But it's something that I really, really take very serious. And so I do a lot of reading on the sides, and this is one of the books that I was reading earlier. It's called The 4-Hour Body. So it's kind of like gives you different kinds of routines that you can try. And my routine has changed drastically. I mean, I'm waking up around 5:30 in the morning every day, and I start my morning by exercising, meditating, and then by the time around 7:30, 8-ish starts, then that's when I start working. And all that's work is for the community here in Team Serious. We want to make sure that you guys are getting taken care of. So it's not just about you guys, but it's also about self-growth and getting there too, meeting your goals. And it's tough, but you have to do it. It has to get done.
Yeah. So what about inspiration from you, man? Because I know this answer, but I'm going to ask you.
For me, it's a little bit of both. I know you've seen, I'm always the type that putting it lightly, I'm hungry. I'm always hungry. I hit one goal, I want more. I hit that goal, I want more. And it could be, that's just how I live my day-to-day life, no matter what it is, from my job to UV to Team Serious to even small things like these podcasts. It's like I'm always wanting more, and I'm wanting to grow. And usually I look for that inspiration in not only bigger teams, but with like my friends. So this group of people, for example, like I can always reach out and be like, all right, Natso's doing this. How can I get either myself or my team right there with them? And I'm always using you guys specifically as inspiration to just keep that drive going. But like Shook and Natso said, it's those little milestones that we got to celebrate to just keep going.
There's a book out there, and I read it not too long ago. Now, granted, I read it for religious reasons. I read it for personal growth. I read it for self-improvement. But it talks about the fact that you can't fill anyone else's cup if yours is empty. And it talks about the fact that you cannot bring the same energy to everyone else if you don't find it in you. And what I started doing is exactly what Natso said, and he's the one who probably taught me this. I used to see a goal as an endpoint. And instead of, when I got there, I would just be like, okay, I'm launching to the next goal. And I never took the time in myself to say, damn, that was really cool. I actually accomplished my goal. Like I never celebrated the small stuff. I would now for my degrees and stuff like that, I'd celebrate those, but just a couple smaller goals. Like I need to make it to, I need to have a tournament go off without a hitch, right? As tournament director, I need to get this tournament off the ground or do this. And I wouldn't celebrate that. I'd just be like, okay, it's part of my job. But I noticed that I was trying to celebrate everyone else's goals, but I wasn't celebrating my own victories. And the book goes on to talk about the fact that there's only so much energy you can give if you don't have enough for yourself. And I was not celebrating mine, but I was celebrating everyone else's. And after a while, I was like, I almost became, there was almost some, I'll get it to you. I can't remember exactly. It's in my other room, but I kind of almost started to hold a grudge because I was like, man, I'm celebrating everybody's goals and nobody's really even looking at mine. And then I realized it wasn't that Shook, Not So, and Twizted didn't notice. It's that it was my job to celebrate my own goal, to do it my way, and to be happy that I had reached these things. And I, for the longest time, and GST is a perfect example of this. I know Not So can attest because he was there literally leading the team with me. We stopped celebrating goals. We stopped celebrating milestones. We stopped celebrating everything. And yeah, we had our group of 10 or 12 friends that were kind of our group, but it became like we just stopped celebrating goals. It didn't matter anymore if we were doing good things or not. We were just like, meh. And whether it's an organization or you as a person, you have to fill up that cup. That way everybody can be happy. That way you have the energy to continue to spread. And that is something that I brought this up for a reason. I bring it up because Team Serious, there's no goal too big for this team. There's no objective that's out of reach for Team Serious. Whether it's resources, the people, whatever it may be, there's nothing that is nothing out of reach for this team. And I'm very glad to be a part of it. And I'm really interested to see how this mental health awareness stream goes because that sign-up sheet got filled up pretty quick. I'm actually a little scared. I might be a little overwhelmed. Not so, please hug me. But I want to go back to a question that Voles asked. He's a newer member of United Vindication. He came over. He's a new streamer. He's somebody who has just made the switch from from Facebook gaming over to Twitch. He's a really solid dude. But he asked the question. He says, have you guys always been able to take advice or willing to take advice? Or have there been moments you thought you knew more than what the other people around you did? And maybe you tuned them out. I'd actually really like to hear this answer because that'd be interesting. Go ahead, Shook. I'll start up there.
Yes to both of those questions that he just said. Been willing to take more advice now because I try to humble myself and not to say that I know everything. But when I first started, say in real estate, I thought I knew it all. And I wouldn't listen to, even before that, I was like, man, I know where this is going to go. I know what they're going to do. And I would just tune them out, just kind of have that mentality where, I think I know it all. And that was limiting my success. That was limiting my knowledge because I didn't want to listen. But once I started knowing a little bit more, getting into business, then I realized, okay, I need a mentor because I don't know anything about business and I need to read books to educate myself. And so I started off as with that, I thought I had experience and I don't need help to now I humble myself every day. And no matter who it is, if they're older or younger, I listen to them because they may have something I don't know. And I always feel that someone can provide value to you or to any organization. And I know that what kind of value I can add. So I'm never going to be like that anymore. So I humble myself now. That's the biggest thing.
Same for me. It's yes and yes. And major thing is understanding that I have a huge thing. I always humble myself. I never think I know everything. I never claim to know everything. I always claim that I can learn something new from someone because you never know how far up the progression bar or the totem pole, whatever you want to consider it, that you can learn. You can learn something at the lowest level. You can learn something at the highest level. So I never sit there and just close my mind to it's got to be one way or the highway or like what I like to say, the old developers that they're set in their ways. I can't stand that. I like to break that stigma. I like to say, okay, I understand that you used to use this Linux system to do this specific task, but you realize there's like 13 tools that does the same thing in better, more efficient and automated ways. And it's always me clashing with the older crowd because I'm like, I get it, that used to work, but mainframes are no longer used. Mainframes are gone. It's all virtual. We're talking about cloud computing now and things of that sort. So one of the links that I put in the chat is called the Human Operating System. I encourage anybody and everybody that's listening to go ahead and check that out. There's a really good chapter on there for accountability. And it's just kind of describing essentially our human emotions, our human feelings and things like that set, and putting it in like an IT form factor, explaining how us as humans, our brains and our operating systems work. It's a really good book for manager, leaders, all the way down to regular workers. But I encourage you to read the accountability chapter. And those of you who have been working with me know that one of the things that I like to do is spot checks and then cross-reference accountability. Who's supposed to be working on what, when, and when are we supposed to deliver it? Because that's how you get to those small goals, and that's how you complete those small tasks, and that's how we can celebrate those milestones. And that's the reason why I do it, because a lot of times people say, yes, I could do it, I could do this, and then nothing gets done. And then everybody suffers for that, right? But if we're going to rework as a team, we're going to move as a team, we're going to move as a unit. Either we're all right together or we're all wrong together, but we're going to be in it together.
So just like the other two gentlemen said, it's a yes and yes for me. One thing I'm always been big on is constructive criticism. When it comes to constructive criticism, even if I think I'm doing something right for me, it might not be right for everyone else. So I like having different ways of doing the same thing. And to an extent, those with more experience can do just that. They can do exactly what I'm doing, but it could be either in a more efficient manner or a quicker, easier way. So being able to understand that and implement that in certain situations has helped me a ton. Both streaming wise, gaming wise, and just even life.
All right, so for me, I mean, I see it the same way, but I don't want to. I kind of want to approach it a different way. I'm a natural born leader. I do dumb stuff all the time just so I can lead projects. In my classroom, whether it's at work, like at work, I'm on like 8 different communities, right? When I'm here working with Team Serious or I'm working with UV, it's like I got to do something. I have this energy about me that I have to be doing something. I need that in my life. And when I didn't have it, I swirled into darkness, because when I was in the military, I did something that was so damn necessary and so important that when I lost it, I lost value in myself. I started saying, well, damn, I don't mean anything anymore. I'm over here renting rental cars. This is great. I'm sure grandma's going to be real happy about this next week. And I didn't find it important at all. And so being a leader like that and being a servant leader, sometimes I do think like, man, I really know this answer. I can just do this on my own. And it's every time I do that dumbass thing that I say, oh, I got this, I got you. And then I end up falling flat on my face. And I'm having to call Natso and call Twizted and be like, hey guys, can y'all bail me out again? Because I'm being stupid. Like, I can't do this shit on my own all the time. And I think that it's not an arrogance as much as it's just like, I've been through this before. I've seen this exact situation. I know exactly the answer. But what I've learned is no two situations are ever the same, especially when you get people involved. And I could have the exact same thing happen to Natso and the same thing happen to Twizted, and I got to handle them 2 totally damn different ways. And in my life, I'm always willing to listen to advice, but sometimes it's just this guy who I have a shit ton of confidence in myself, as these gentlemen around me do, because we all are very good at what we do, whether it's in business or whether it's leading a community, whether it's IT, whether it's teaching, whether it's, our jobs, whatever it may be. We're all very good at what we do, and we all have confidence, and we can all lead from the front. But sometimes I think that my comfort gets in the way of my brain. And sometimes I'm like, man, I got this. This one's a simple one. And then I realize like, oh, shit, I hit the wrong button. So yeah, I'm willing to take advice. I always believe in getting everybody's opinion first. Sometimes I don't even listen to my own advice. So yeah, I have multiple times thought I was too smart for my own good. And normally that's why Sage is around, because she's the one who's going to grab me by the neck and tell me I'm being a moron. Or if I fail, I have to go to these guys and be like, hey, bail me out again. So I'm going to ask this last question, and then we'll go to the fun stuff that Twizted had planned for us. Let's talk about what's the best advice you've gotten from one another. specifically to do with our two communities that are working so well together? This will be good.
That's an easy one for me. Slow down. Slow the hell down. I've been told that numerous times because, like I said, I'm very motive driven. So once we start getting on a little roll of, hey, we've done this, we've done that, I'm like, all right, we need more, we need more, we need more. And the best advice I've gotten to not shoot myself in the foot is just slow down. You know, let's give it some time, make sure we work out the kinks and everything, and then we move on to the next project.
I've only said that to you about 1,000 times. All right, not so. What about you, man? What's the best advice you get from this panel?
I would have to think on that one. Man, I got
because we don't have to give him advice. He's too damn good.
There's a bunch of them.
You hear this?
No, that's not even it. I'm trying to figure out one that we've talked to recently. Like, I know that earlier, one of the things that you and I have discussed is always about community and community first. And then that's how you kind of explained. You kind of took the example, but I don't know if everybody was here at the beginning, but he said the serious ladies, and then he took that and re-implemented that within UV. We share a lot of community information that's related to how to run and kind of implement things in the community that make sense. So I could get that from both of y'all because we both talk about communities and how we've done it, examples of what we've done in the past. And, I used to belong to a ton of communities and what I've seen and what I do's and don'ts. But that can relate that back to that. Business wise, Shook is my man. I talk to Shook all the time about business, and I can get that from him all day and night.
I think for me, it'd be from one another for Team Serious would be we get the business partners all together and sit down, and then we kind of brainstorm ideas off of each other, and then we kind of take it that direction. So for Team Serious, that's kind of how we do it. And then for like UV and stuff with Team Serious, and it's the same thing. We all sit down and we figure out how we can collaborate with each other. Just with the mental awareness that we did, we all sat down, had a meeting, and say, hey, what can we do? What can we, what should we not do? And, kind of things like that. And then whatever we take from there is our lessons learned. And, I think that's how we kind of take away from each other is, we sit down, we give our advice, our 2 cents, and then we go from there.
So for me, I actually have some specific ones on this one. I'm this happy guy up here on this panel. I love to cry for whatever reason. Okay. Blame my mom. The best advice I got from these guys, I was sitting one night and I was talking with Shook and Natso, and it was always the same. Like, set a goal. Always have a goal. Even if it's something like gaming, communities, running these communities, that it doesn't seem super important when you look at it, right? It doesn't seem like it's all that big of a deal. You're running a gaming community. But have a goal, set a goal, be happy when you reach your goal, and don't be afraid of your goals. And that goes for streaming too. Like, I have streaming goals. They are not numbers driven now, like what they used to be, because I don't think that they're accurate anyway, but to have a goal, to set a goal and to be happy when you meet the goal, and to, when I sat with Natso and Twizted, the same thing. It's people first. What are you doing for your people? What are you doing for the people that you are surrounding yourself with? Because at the end of the day, we're doing all this for them. It's what's going to appeal to the people? Why are you doing it for the people? And sometimes when you're doing this, and I'm gonna kind of tell you just from a leadership standpoint, sometimes when you do this, you get overwhelmed with some dumb stuff. You get some stuff, a lot of background noise. You get lost in, this person's mad at that person. This person can't do this. This person won't do that. You get lost in it. And if you allow yourself to get lost in it, you will drown. But whenever I find myself at that darkest moment where I'm like, I'm so tired of this, I don't know why I'm doing this, it's always Natso or Twizted that say, but what about those people that aren't a problem? What about those people who really want to be here and have fun? What about those people? What about, and it's just that one question, what about the people? Is it real? We're doing this mental health stream. What about that one person we saved? we're going to do 3 months of work. And I'm not talking about 5 minutes of work here and there. I'm talking about labor intensive work to put this mental health stream on. We've already had 3 instances, guys, 3 instances of people saying, because of you guys talking about this, I'm seeking help. And now I'm willing to share my story.
And that in itself is a beautiful and, worth it already. You know, like you haven't even done the whole thing full blown out yet. And you've already touched 3 people. I mean, that's awesome.
We sat down that night when we first discussed goals, and not so being the person he is and being the analyst he is. He says, what does success look like? What does success feel like? When we do this, how do we know we met our goal? And I was the first one to speak, and I said, one person. That's what we need to change one person's life.
Hey, you met your goal. Let's celebrate now.
Right? Now we're going to celebrate. But to already have 3, and 2 of them are extraordinarily close to me. And I mean, like somebody that I have looked to for mentorship and guidance. And to have it be them, like it breaks my heart. But at the same time, it's like, damn, the people. Yes, it's going to be a lot of work. Yes, there's going to be a lot of late nights. There's going to be some frustration. When it comes up, there'll be so much stress. I won't be able to tell one way from another. Like we could have saved 3 lives already, guys. Like that's that stuff right there. That's what we seek out to do. So, Vales, man, that's the best advice I could get from these guys is people. It's always the people. It's always about the people you serve, the people you lead, the people that you live for, whether it's wife, family, friends, people you don't even know. If you're making a difference, that's all that matters. So,
and those are all good talking points. What I always like to say is take care of your people because your people take care of you. That's always what I like to say. People always say, what makes a great supervisor or a great manager, a great director is those that remember how they got there to begin with because of the people that's under them. So you take care of them, they will take care of you. That's as simple as it gets.
And it's really funny you say that because like when you and I first met, it was through streaming, it was through gaming, but I used to wonder, like, because somebody'd be like, hey, I've got this problem or I've got that problem. And by the time I could even read it, you had already solved it. Right? Somebody's like, yeah, I don't have this video card or this, that, and the other. And by the time I could even look at the question, you were like, it's sent. Expect the package in 2 days. And I'm like, first off, you don't even know this guy. What are you doing? And second, it's like, damn, man, this guy it never stops. He supports everything. He's got it figured out. And then I learned it. It's not about money. It's not about time. It's not about any of that. It's about the impact you can make on one person. And I don't support that way with items or money or things like that. But you ever need a phone call? Like I will drop everything to talk to you. And Twizted and I have had conversation at 4 and 5 in the morning. Natso and I've talked over drinks. Shook and I have talked at 4 and 5 in the morning. Like that's the kind of empowered leadership and followership and support that I think this world needs more of.
I was like, damn, when is he going to throw that I gave a lot of shit away?
I mean, I got Rocket League from you because I had just lost my job and I was like, man, I really want to play games. And it was in my library immediately.
Right. I truly care. And we really try. That's why I still wear this.
Yeah, absolutely. I
really tried. I know we started the homies inside of GST and major shout out to Brosen if he's still around. But one of the things him and I did was try to get the community involved. We're like, if you don't have the game, we'll gift you the game. And we gifted so many copies of certain things. There's people that had PC problems. I had spare parts. I'm not going to sit here and name names, but I had just upgraded monitors. I sent them out. I had just upgraded video cards. I sent those out. I had just upgraded RAM. I sent those out. I had a whole streaming computer that I had just finished upgrading, and I had boxed it up, and somebody came up to me essentially in tears because that's the only computer they had and they couldn't afford one and it had just gone to shit. I didn't think twice. I overnighted the whole package because I truly care about the community. I truly care about our message. And those people, some of them decided to stick around. And it wasn't about handing the stuff. I remember being there. Does that make sense? Like it resonated in my hand because I was like, when I was at those low points in my time and before I had all my career, before I got all schooling done, I wish I had somebody that would have done that for me. And that's how I look at it. It's not because I want to showboat. It's not because it's because I remember being that low. I remember not having $5 to my name, but I worked hard for everything I have, and now I can give back. And it's not about trying to say, well, Natso does this. Is that I work hard. I have a really good saying, and Shook knows this. It's like, I'd rather be tired than broke.
Absolutely.
And I take that to heart because he was like, hey, you still working on it? I was like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Are you going to bed? I was like, no, I'm still working on this for Team Serious. He's like, it's 11 o'clock. It's like, once I finish it, then I'll go to bed. Because if not, I'll have that anxiety. I need to finish it. I need to finish it. So I'll finish it and then I'll go to bed.
See, we see things the same, and obviously, I mean, we share so many damn drinks, dude. It's crazy. But I get the same kind of conversation, except people are like, why are you talking to this random person like that? You don't know who this person is. And I'm the kind of person from my walk of life, because of my mother, because of who she was as a human and what she taught me, saying I love you to me is not, it's not strange to me. I say it to anybody and everybody who walks down the street. You come up, you give me a handshake. I'm going to say, I love you, bro. I hope you have a good day. You're a lady, you know, as long as it don't get too weird, I'll be like, hey girl, I love you. Have a good day. Right. So, people ask me all the time, like, why are you talking to this person? You don't know who this person is. You don't know what that person's going through. You don't know if that I love you, hey, I got you, is going to change their entire day. There have been days where Natsu's come up and he's been like, hey, dude, you good? And I was like, yes, I'm fine. And then it resonates with me throughout the rest of the day. And I'm like, damn, man, he's as busy as anybody I know. And he took 10 minutes to say, hey, you good? Twizted has come to my side when I'm the most anxious I've ever been, guys. And I'm not joking. Like, I've been there. I've been as far in this shit as I can imagine, and I don't want to go back. And Twizted will come by and he'll be like, hey, stop working on that for a minute. Let's play some games. Let's chill. And he took an hour of his time just to sit there and play Rocket League with me, or play League or whatever. And even though I'm raging at the game and I'm pissed at the game, it resonated with me. And my mom taught me love first. And my dad is not that person, guys. My dad will jump your ass and he won't feel too sympathies for it. My dad will jump your ass and he will smile as he walks away. But mom taught me the other side. Mom said compassion first. Always compassion first. And Natsu's met my mom. Like, the woman is a godsend. And so what happened is I learned over time that I don't support financially. I don't, because, you know, like I said, I've been laid off twice in the last 4 years. So I'm still rebuilding my empire. But when I talk to somebody, even on Twitter randomly, it's like, hey, I hope you have a good day. You're a good person. I don't know who the fuck you are. You're a good guy. I like you. And it's who I am. And I feel like it changes the world, at least in my sphere.
It definitely goes back to what Shooky just said. People don't forget a person who did something nice to them, especially if they were in need, right? And I would hope so. I would hope at the end of the day, it wasn't about the money. It wasn't about the part. It was about doing something nice. Because nowadays, people are fucking ugly to each other. You go to Twitter and you see everybody just arguing. That's why I don't really get on Twitter. You go to IG, people are bashing. What happened to saying hello? How are you? You good? You know what I'm saying? Like that online, you know, handshake or the high five. You go to Twitter, and if you just want to see people going at it, go to Twitter and Facebook. There's enough of that in the world. Let's get a little good going on. I'm not saying everybody go today and donate whatever. That's not what I'm saying. Is if you're in need and you ask me and I have it, I will give. That's just the way it works. Because for me, it's really for me, and it's not really for that person. Like, they need the part, but it's really for me to say I've done my part today in the world.
I couldn't agree more. I think, and these four gentlemen exude that. Well, these three exude that same mindset, and it resonates through our two communities. It resonates in Team Serious. Team Serious knows that if they need something, they can reach out and ask. And in UV, it's like, hey guys, I need help. Not I need help with a specific topic. They can just go into our chat and say, hey, I need help. And there's 50 people around them. And Team Serious, it's like, hey guys, I have this, and this that I need done. And it's interesting because I won't say his name, but Brozine, he replaced his video card. Next day, he sent it out somewhere else in the world. Like, that is a selfless leader, a selfless human being that this world desperately needs more of. And hopefully through our mental health awareness, we can get to that. So not to belabor the point, these are wonderful human beings, these three especially. I've surrounded myself with the people that I think are like that, whether it's these three, Chillin, Sage, Tanya, whoever it may be. I surround myself with good people. And if you're a bad person, I don't want to see you around. I just don't. I'll get rid of you faster than a bad habit. So Twizted has something funny to kind of end the afternoon with before we go back to our busy lives and I go back to doing homework and stupid shit. So Twizted, let's chat about your little fun topic here.
Yes. All right. So fun little topic I had was just some outrageous lawsuits. Just because me and Naso started this conversation before all this, and people will sue you for the stupidest things. So just hitting number one, the first thing, and it was kind of new to Naso, was I'm not sure, but did you guys hear about the guy who sued Red Bull due to the fact that it did not give him wings?
I still don't believe it. I was like, well, how did I miss this story? It was 2014. And we had a good laugh. And then we started pulling out other outrageous lawsuits.
All right. So I'm sitting here and I'm working my ass off every day to make my family have what they need. And this motherfucker sued Red Bull for that. Wow. Okay.
And the sad part of it is he won. He won. That is why since 2014, Red Bull has stopped the slogan, Red Bull gives you wings. If you notice now, they no longer use that.
So for those of you who are watching on Twitch, that revelation just hit me like a ton of bricks. I don't even have any. Why in the hell would he win that?
That's what we were laughing at. And it wasn't a small amount of money. And you could sign up. Well, the site is no longer, it's been a few years. But you could sign up if you were impacted because of that ad to get money.
If you were upset that you did not grow wings, the energy company will send you $10. $10. It was like a $13 billion lawsuit that was won. But in that case, I have found a few others, such as in 2013, a group of Subway customers actually filed a class action lawsuit against the chain, claiming its foot-long subs wasn't always measured up to 12 inches.
Yes, I do recall that one.
So stupid.
They were
It was like 11 3/4.
Yeah. It wasn't a foot.
Oh my God.
What else is a couple good ones?
Humans bother me.
There's also in 2014 a California resident sued McDonald's $1.5 million for the fact he only received one napkin. One napkin with his meal.
Did he win that?
At this time, no. They actually said he was no stranger to taking on fast food corporations. He had been filing suits against McDonald's, Jack in the Box twice without receiving any compensation for his claims. So,
oh man, this guy was out for blood.
He's a pathological sewer.
It's one of those dudes, like, he reads an article. I could do this.
So we're out here like, how do we change the world? Chick's like, I'm going to take on real estate. I'm going to take on business and all that. He's like, I'm going to take on Jack in the Box. Like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Another one we had spoken about was Anheuser-Busch in 2013 got sued for the fact that their commercials represented, hot women, tropical weather, and the dude's fantasies did not get fulfilled by drinking Budweisers.
Jesus Christ.
So he turned around, sued them. Thankfully, that judge was in his right state of mind because he did not let that get far. There's just so many.
The taste of Budweiser should have been off-putting.
We taste disgusting, but your fantasies will be fulfilled.
That's the craziest shit, man.
So in 2014, an imprisoned pimp sued Nike for $100 million because his Air Jordan sneakers should have came with a warning that they could be used as a dangerous weapon. He received a 100-year prison sentence for stomping on the face of an Oregon prostitution customer who tried to flee a motel without paying.
Wow.
So he uses the shoe to stomp a man to death and then sues the shoe company because, wow, that's fucking impressive. The stupidity in this podcast just went through. Like, I couldn't.
Oh, God. Okay. I just found probably my favorite because it's close to home. In 1998, a Florida woman sued Universal Studios' annual Halloween Horror Nights because she was emotionally and physically damaged from visiting one of the haunted house attractions there.
This, my friends, is why we have to sign waivers when we go to the bathroom.
But just some of these lawsuits are just absolutely ridiculous when it comes to these kind of things, man. And you know, it's funny because it all stemmed from the fact that not so use an example that, you know, that Walmart used to leave boxes out and like, hey, come get some free boxes if you want, and some snotty person came over there and hurt themselves and decided to sue Walmart for it
and ruined it for the rest of us.
So the conversation all started about box, like where is he getting his boxes from for his move, and luckily he said his dad had just recently moved, so he got a ton of those boxes. And then he explained the same thing that I knew because my wife at one point seasonally worked for Target, and they give you boxes if you get there early enough. The guy that's going to sit there and break them down will have them just piled up, and you can literally come and grab them. Just say, hey, I need some boxes. I'm taking these, and they're cool. And then I told them the story where Walmart used to do that, but then they had to start essentially crunching them all up, you know, in cubes, that big old cube, and then palletizing that because somebody got injured while trying to get some free boxes and they sued Walmart. So then this is where the whole conversation started. And then he told me about the Red Bull thing, and I reminded him about the McDonald's thing. And then that's a whole other story because the McDonald's one with the lady that got burned was just, it gets a negative stigma because not everybody understands what actually happened. And there's a whole documentary on it. And it leads to McDonald's paying marketing firms to negatively slander the grandma that got burned. So essentially the ratio is like 1 out of 3 people. When they start the conversation about the McDonald's and the grandma that got burned, you start relating back to how stupid she was for having the coffee in her lap. When in sued, there's a whole thing that happened. But McDonald's pumped millions and millions into that to, slander that lady. So they got caught for that too.
Like that's the crazy part is like when you get into these high level corporations like that and the resources really start flowing, like, yeah, you're probably going to win your $2 million lawsuit. Granted, $2 million to McDonald's is chump change. I hate to say that, but it is. Don't think you're just walking away scot-free. That ain't the way this works. You're not going to have the opportunity to sit there and badmouth McDonald's for the rest of your life. Like, they will sit there and they will watch everything you publish, everything you write, everything you talk about. And if you start degrading their reputation, they'll turn around. They can sue you as well. Degradation of character is a huge thing. So
exactly what he said. That's exactly what I told Twizted. So coffee does burn for those of you who don't drink coffee. And there's an operational temperature you're supposed to have it at. Boiling is not one of them. So that's what I told Twizted, that the only time I ever put anything in my coffee is when I go eat out like IHOP or Waffle House, something like that, because they just have the coffee and it burns and it tastes like ass, and that's what they'll serve you. So I try to say fresh coffee, but even then they don't give a damn. They'll serve you the burnt coffee, and that's the time where I put sugar and creamer in it because it just tastes completely like ass. But there is an operational temperature that they weren't following based on their procedures. And scalding, boiling hot is not an operating temperature. That's not the procedures. It was well documented, but they had it at boiling temperatures.
Yeah, I think the two parts to that is they were definitely at fault, but again, you have to take the good with the bad too. You can sue them, and rightfully she won. But man, I've seen a lot of these situations go south where, 40 or 50 days later or whatever, then they come back and get countersued for that degradation of character or degradation of a reputation. And that's nasty business, because once you do that, like that, you might sue them for $2 million because you burned yourself with coffee. And like I said, you'll probably win. But when they sue you for degradation of character or degradation of reputation, they can sue you for like $50 million.
Right.
Then they're going to put you in lifelong debt forever. These people that are making these claims or whatever, get your money. Nobody's hating on you. You burned yourself. You hurt yourself. They deserve to pay you. After that, go sit down and shut the hell up. Keep your money. Yeesh.
We were talking about how that they have stupid money.
Yeah.
Like, I want stupid money.
Me too.
But I don't have stupid money. But they have stupid money to play with. And they will go after you and make it miserable. So that's what kind of where the conversation was going too, is you go against these big corporations that have stupid money. You might win the first battle, but then the war just started, and here goes the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just sit down and shut the hell up. Like, and you do something like that, or you get into a car accident, and you have the right to sue under our law, and that's cool. Do it. Use your freedom. After that, it's time to stop. Don't go seeking the fame afterwards, because that's normally going to bite you in the ass. You can have your cake, but anyway, I don't think I would ever do that. I'd have a hard time suing anybody. I think I've had some situations where I could have sued.
Listen, that coffee one though, I'm sorry, I'd have to sue. The burns that lady had. Shoot, my hospital bills would have been through the roof.
And that's exactly how the suit first started. They only wanted them to pay the medical, like 700 something thousand. That's all they wanted. But McDonald's was being what they do best and not acknowledging it, and that's when they said, let's go up above that. But yeah, I was like, dude, Google those burns, and he did, and it's like the second thing, right? Like the second hit, and he was like, damn. I was like, it's pretty bad. It's bad.
There was an event that happened probably it was right after the Twins were born, so it had to be about 9 years ago. We were walking around Walmart, and we had the Twins up in the carts. We had their like carry-all locked onto the top of the cart so we could push the cart. And it was raining outside, and it wasn't raining bad, but it was raining. And the skylight window at Walmart broke. Like, it shattered. And it's plexiglass, for those of you that don't know. It's like an inch thick plexiglass. And the damn thing shattered everywhere. And thankfully, we had the kids' little umbrella pulled up over the top, the shield. But it cut me in several places. And with something like that, granted, it wasn't life-changing, but you could still sue enough. You could still get reparations for that. But even then, like, even if I would have been seriously hurt, I don't know that I'm not willing to pick that fight. I'm not the kind of guy that does that. I'd rather just be like, it's blood, wipe it off and go back to work and do it that way. That's me personally. I'm not saying everybody should be that way. If you burned me and I had like a lifelong scar, I'd probably be calling up Shook. Hey, Shook, I need an attorney, bro. Is we going to war?
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. I agree with you. I don't know if I could do that either. If something happened to me, I'd have to look at it from a different perspective than just mine and playing just the victim, I agree if it's extreme, like the coffee burn, then yeah, that's extreme. But if it's something minor like that, then I have a different perspective on how I look at things now. Maybe before, like maybe 10 years ago, I would have been like, yeah, heck yeah, they have money and I'm going to sue because they did this to me. But, I think of it different now. So
I think also running your own business helps. I think that changes your perspective a little bit.
I mean, unless you drink a Red Bull and you're like shirtless in front of a mirror, just waiting for wings to sprout you.
Matt, why? You seen me or what? Like
sitting there like,
sitting there trying to level up like a Super Saiyan.
All right. That is the funniest damn video I've ever seen on YouTube. I don't know about you. Maybe we should skip into this next time, but have you guys seen the video of the kid who like is literally recording himself trying to turn Super Saiyan?
Yep.
I mean, it's glorious because I've watched Dragon Ball Z my whole life. that kid though, like, whew,
Did you reach it?
I'm sure somewhere.
Did you see the one where they like trolled them? Like somebody actually put the flames and everything, him powering up. Like at first he's just sitting there yelling, like the original is just him yelling. But then somebody went back and modified it, and it looked like he really is turning Super Saiyan. That was hilarious.
There's that kid. There was some discussion on Reddit whether or not it was real or not. There was a kid who he's got like 10 or 12 videos where his little brother is following him around the house with the camera, but he's raging over different things, and he's got a serious anger problem. But like, I still don't know if it's real. I have to find him, but he's like, his mom cancels his WoW subscription, and he loses his damn mind. Like, I mean, starts breaking things, starts screaming and yelling. There's a day where they got him kind of an older car for his 16th birthday. He destroyed the car with a bat. Like, there's things that this kid does, and they're funny as hell. They're absolutely the funniest videos. But there was talk on Reddit whether or not it was staged or actually true, and it was entertaining. But that kid who did the Super Saiyan video, it's 100% true. The kid tried it, and it's funny as hell. Videos like that just crack me up because it's like, man, are you really that dense? I'm not going to say stupid, but dense.
All right. All right, gentlemen, let's go around the horn. Appreciate everybody's time. I know I got to get off here in a little bit. I got something to tend to. So we'll go ahead and go around the horn. We'll start with Tombstone, Twizted, Shook, and then myself. And let's give everybody their time back and their weekend back. I appreciate everybody being here. Let's go ahead, Tombstone. Where can we find you? Tell us all about you and everything else.
All right, so for me, excuse me, wow. You can find me over on Twitter. I really don't know what my handle is because it's got a couple underscores in there. I got to fix that. X's and underscores. I got a problem, guys. I need an intervention. You can find me over at twitch.tv/XX Tombstone XX. You can find me in UV or in Team Serious's Discord. All you have to do is say my name 3 times. I'll appear out of nowhere. It's great. With that being said, I just did one of my favorite streams of the year. I just did a scare stream. It was an absolute blast. All the clips are there. Go make fun of me all you want because it was funny as shit. I was terrified. Most of the time, though, I am going to be just hanging out with my friends, chatting with the homies, trying to get things done. But I'm like these guys. I never stop grinding. So if you need me, ask. But chances are I'm not just going to be sitting around doing nothing. So take a number and I'll get you on the schedule.
You done yet?
No, I'm never done talking, bro. Come on.
Is you done or is you finished? No, you can find me on Twitter, JTwisted_XO, or on Twitch /TwistedXO, or you find me in UV and Team Serious. I'm always there, always chatting it up. Got some major things in store too. Look forward to seeing each and every one of you guys here supporting, as well as supporting everyone for our upcoming mental health stream. Don't forget about that. I just want to touch base on it one more time. We have pushed signups within the UV Discord already, so make sure you check that out. Get signed up and share your story. We're looking forward to meet you guys.
So you can find me at the Team Serious Discord, Shooky. I'm one of the admins there. Also a business partner with Not So. Just as Not So mentioned earlier in the stream, if you guys didn't tune in, you guys didn't know, we are going to start on the tournaments again. That's something that I'm going to be overseeing here shortly. We might have a friendly match tonight, maybe on Counter-Strike. So look out for that if we do. And then you will see some more things coming up. I just can't say much at the moment because there's some stuff we're working in the background, but we have some exciting stuff coming up, guys. So keep on the lookout. Again, if you want to reach out to any of the partners or anybody here, we're all in the Team Serious Discord, so feel free.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of Team Serious and a part of the Serious Gentleman cast. Anything and everything that is said will be in the show notes after the podcast, so you don't have to remember. What did he say? Underscore what? XX what? There's too many underscores. Oh, anyways. That will be located, not all, also, check us out on YouTube. All these VODs will be available on YouTube with all that good information in the description, where to find Twizted, and where to find Tombstone, and anything and everything that's ever said. It's on teamseriestfw.com/podcasts. With that being said, everybody have a wonderful rest of the work week. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. Hope to see you again here every Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Don't forget about the ladies now. Don't forget about the ladies. They are 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Wednesdays. Check they out because they have a blast and they talk about whatever the hell they want to talk about. Tonight in this show, I believe, now correct me if I'm wrong, Tombstone, Savory Sundays is deployed tonight at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. If the time has changed, just keep a lookout on the socials. Check out Sage Rage. She's a part of the Serious Ladies. She's a part of United Vindication. She does her cooking shows. We call it the Sage Rage Show. Go check her out. Order some of those fantastic jams and jellies when you get a moment. They're fantastic. If you're going to ask me which one, I'm going to say all of them. They're all good. They're real good. Check out our apple butter. Oh, my God. It's straight fire.
They're all pretty good.
With that being said, we will see you next week. And remember, stay serious. See you next time.
See you guys.
Later.
Hello, Serious Crew. This is Not So Busy, your podcast producer and Serious Gentleman podcaster. Team Serious would like to announce Serious Property Solutions, a proud sponsor of Team Serious. Serious Property Solutions, or SPS, will buy any house, any condition, any situation. So if you're looking into getting out of your mortgage or simply selling your house quick and you are near or around the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, give them a call at area code 469-609-7368. Or you can reach out to them via their Facebook page at facebook.com/Serious Property Solutions and send them a message via FB Messenger or email them at oscar@seriouspropertysolutions.com. We would like to thank SPS for their support and supporting this podcast. Thank you so much. Go check them out.
The closer you got to me, the faster I try to